Rise and shine, it's a brand new day. Ken and Ken take the stage, ready to play. Weekdays at 10, the cars and the scene. Coffee in hand, they're living the dream. Question in their voice, got the whole town awake. Bringing fire to the mic, make no mistake. Shows in the corner, spitting out facts. Dropping truth bombs, ain't holding back. Ken and Ken in the morning, feel the heat. From 10 a.m. CST, can take a seat. We live and loud, that break in the mind. Light up your speakers, crank up the sound. They're talking about life upside down. Opinions exploding like a sonic blast. In the studio, they're built to last. With passion and grit, they engage and ignite. Every single week, they're a force can't fight. From sports to politics,
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Ken and Ken in the morning. And we have, of course, Ken, and we have a special guest. Good morning, Hoss.
What's up? Good morning. Glad to be back. It's Friday. I got a job and I ain't got shit to do, so I figured I'd be here tonight.
Well, but you have a job, but you're going to need another job if you keep making these parlays.
Oh, don't get me started about that. Because every time I hear y'all intro, I feel like I turn into Rocky Balboa and I'm punching a freaking frozen meat bag, getting ready to knock out Jake Paul or something. But no, I want to knock out whoever decides these rigged ass games and shit. Like I had Wednesday lined up perfect. I hit all 4 MLB wild card games. I could have walked away with money, but what do? Oh, I want to go bet a freaking soccer game on the side, Champions League, and Barcelona cost me my freaking parlay.
You got barcode.
Yes, by another team I love in PSG.
Morning, Fred.
Wow.
Good morning there, Jax.
And guess who cost me my parlay last night? Freaking San Diego Padres.
Hey, well, first off, you should know not to bet against my Cubbies. So that's your own fault there, man. Let me see. Hold on a second. Chiefs. Did we do the right nut yesterday? Yeah. Suck Joe's left nut on Fridays. Okay. Need to make sure that we properly tag Raiders Twitter there. And give Joe his,
daily moisturizing.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and you can't have only one ball getting all the attention. You know what I mean?
Wow. Well, what did you guys all watch? Oh, I know Ken didn't watch last night's game because he can't multitask. Did everyone else watch the game last night?
That was a
I saw that fumble on the goal line.
Yeah,
That was the play of the season right there. The defensive play of the season, bro.
Yeah. I said on my show, I said every time these two teams play each other, it's always an instant classic. This Northern Cal, Southern Cal rivalry, it's always a banger. And I usually root for the 49ers every time they play each other.
And, it's a divisional game, and the fumble was big. Not going for the field goal, going for the win was big. Look at the Niners, man. We all kind of wrote them off this year because of all their issues, but yet they keep winning games.
Mm-hmm.
And without Brock Purdy.
I was going to say, we got the full return of the Mac, down a shit ton of his starters, and he still went and beat the Rams.
Yeah, the Mac attack.
They're actually better with Mac. They're better with Mac than they are Purdy right now.
And McCaffrey is more dangerous playing damn receiver than running back. He had more yards at receiving than rushing. And he had a receiving touchdown. I think he had 82 receiving yards, where he only had 57 rushing yards.
Yeah, that was a game yesterday, man. I
Dude,
was
they had
surprised.
Mac Jones. Mac Jones had like 342 yards passing. Like, what the hell is that, dude?
And let me state, Mac Jones is one tough son of a bitch because I saw the beating that he took through those highlights that I watched, and holy shit, you got to give it to that guy.
Dude, I mean,
Yeah.
and like the Rams,
342 yards from Mac Jones. Like, I did not expect that.
and the Rams aren't doing Ram things. I mean, Devontae, they almost didn't. I think he had one pass, one target, and one reception in the first half. The second half, he made some big plays when they needed him to, but the passing game for the Rams was a little off. The running game was okay until they fumbled on the goal line. Morning, brother. Yeah, those fumbles cost the Rams, man. Turnovers get you every time, don't they? I wonder how many people lost money on that game last night.
I bet a lot.
I don't know what I loved more, the turnover in the red zone or the 4th and 1 stop to end the game.
And that goes out to all the people that were sitting there bitching. Oh, Matt LaFleur's got no balls for kicking that field goal with 1 second left. Well, you see what happens when you don't go for the field goal.
You know, Hoss, speaking of Matt LaFleur, I wonder how many people lost money on the game where the Packers were supposed to destroy the Cowboys in Dallas, and a certain guy was supposed to have 4 sacks. How many people lost money on that game being a tie? Morning, Eric.
I don't know if Matt LaFleur or Kyle Shanahan was shaking in their boots more this week. It had to have been one of them.
Both of those coaches are probably not on hot seats, but warm seats. Because I think Packer fans are like, if we don't win a Super Bowl in the next 2 years, well, I know they're saying this because I heard Dorn say this. Dorn was like, if LaFleur doesn't win a Super Bowl in the next 2 years, fire his ass. And you know what, though?
Well, I were going to say, to be fair, though, anytime Green Bay loses, Jordan wants to fire everybody, including the water boy.
I'll tell you what, look, I don't get – first off, no one likes the damn times. I'm going to repeat what I said on the go. This ain't fucking Major League Soccer. We don't want ties. I wish they could just play till the death. But when I saw they went for a field goal to go for a tie, if I was LaFleur, I'd just go for it. And if we don't catch it, we lost, and I'm going to blame it on the receiver for not catching it. I don't want to end that shit in a tie. It's like do or die with the Cowboys.
It's not like Green Bay doesn't have a receiver that everyone on the planet can find with a helmet that looks like this.
Oh,
I mean, can his helmet get any bigger?
I mean, he can audition for Spaceballs.
That has to be the biggest helmet in football history.
Well, he balled out with that damn Spaceball helmet on, but I couldn't believe, like, I was hoping like Michael Parsons would have sacked him like 7 times or flipped off Jerry Jones, but nah, friggin' George Pickens balled out. Dak Prescott had a decent game. I mean, both quarterbacks had a decent game, but oh boy with the cap balled out a little more than I figured Golden would have balled out.
Yeah, for some reason, they're bringing Golden along very slowly, which is very confusing to me because he quite obviously has the best hands on the team.
Well, that's just it. They're trying to make sure he doesn't get concrete hands like the rest of the receiving corps.
You know
the rest of the receiving corps. You stay away from this guy. You don't. He's not lockered up with any of the other wide receivers. Like they got him over there with the offensive linemen. They're like, you guys don't contaminate this guy. Like you're not allowed near him.
Nope, stay away. Here, go hang out with Josh Jacobs. Well, wait a minute. No, don't do that. Yeah. Well, hey, there's some other quick hits real quick before we get into the games for this weekend. Obviously we know Romeo Doubs. They're trying to extend the biggest helmet in football. The Giants are looking like they are not looking to replace Malik Neighbors for the year. They're not looking to pursue a wide receiver addition at the trade deadline, they're saying. Anthony Richardson, though, is up for developing under the offensive coach. Like, I guess he wants out of Indianapolis. Okay. And a team you think, well, hey, we'll take a shot. Nope. Bengals are expressing confidence in Jake Browning, and they are unlikely to make a quarterback trade. That's what's being reported today. So some interesting little hits from the wires there. Make of it what you will.
Yeah, that's spin. It should say Bengals expressing confidence in top 5 pick. That's what's really happening here. Burrow's shut down. They're going full on tank, dude. Like, and they're not even trying to. That's the thing, is they still have the plausible deniability. They could say, well, no, it's just our quarterback's hurt, right? So, but they're absolutely tanking, dude.
Yeah, I have a feeling that if they lose the next 2 games, especially the next 2 games, Trey Hendrickson's on that trade block, and they're going to try to at least get a draft pick for him before he walks in free agency. Outside of him, though, like we were talking about this yesterday, Haas, you weren't with us, but we were looking at your Saints, or as I like to call them, the Aints.
Oh, there ain't nothing to look at.
And trying to figure out who they could sell at the trade deadline, and we came to the realization that you can't have no one that's sellable because their contracts are also jacked up. No one's going to want to trade for them.
Nope. No, but I'm very confident in them. I think they can beat the Giants Sunday. If they cannot beat the Giants, then I'm going to hit the panic button.
Wait, you're not hitting the panic button in NOLA already?
No, not yet. I mean, they still got teams left to play. I think they can beat in the Jets and the Dolphins and the Panthers.
Well, okay, there's that.
But those don't come till like November. If we can't beat the Giants, then we're going to lose out the whole month of October.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you get a couple NFC North teams coming up soon.
The Giants don't look
we got
too
our crossover coming soon.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a hell of a night too. Like,
if Russ was starting for the Giants, I might not have a problem picking the Saints, to be honest with you. But
yeah, but unfortunately, it's Jackson Dart.
Yeah, with Dart starting, nah.
Yeah, but I mean, look, okay, so Dart, let's not anoint Dart the Messiah and Savior of the New York Giants yet. Sorry, Eric. I mean, it was one game, guys. It was one game. Come on.
Against one of the better teams in the NFL, though. I think that's where you're getting the...
There's nuance, Ken. There's nuance, right? Like, we're not anointing him, but what we saw from him in one game was much better than what we've seen from Russ for the last 3 years. Like, he had poise. He ran the playbook. His running ability is something that you have to account for because he's obviously dangerous on his feet.
I mean, Joe, I get that, but look, it's kind of like when the backup quarterback comes in the game in the third quarter, and all of a sudden, like, you know, where your offense wasn't moving the ball, they are, and then the next week they're still able to move the ball, and then like everyone's like, oh, maybe he should be the starter for good, and then the third game or the second full week of him starting comes, and well, the performance is still okay. It was a close game, and then by the third start, it's like he gets shellacked because now defenses there's tape, they've schemed for him. I mean, Dart, okay, great.
In Raider Nation, we call that the Bruce Gradkowski effect.
Yeah, I mean, let's give this kid 2 or 3 more starts, maybe 2 more starts before we say that, because I mean, yeah, they played a good team that had no idea what Jackson Dart was. No one really did. We were all like, oh my God, look at this kid. Yeah, because none of us knew. I mean, what's waiting on? I mean, Eric is sitting there going, no, he's the man. He's the man. Well, and Giants fans should say that. I mean, your guy just won you a game, but let's talk reality here. It's like, let's see what he looks like after 2 more starts, and teams now can properly adjust for him and scheme for him.
That's a very valid point, and I'm not saying he's the man. I'm simply saying if I'm the New York Giants, I feel pretty good about my first round draft pick. Like, I feel like, I expect him to make rookie mistakes. Like, he's going to lose them some games this year because of rookie mistakes. I expect that. But if I'm the Giants, I like the direction we're heading in. That's what I'm going to say. Like, I think he showed promise.
And then there's a huge point too, is what they've had at quarterback for the past few years being so underwhelming, and then going to Russ here to start the season and that being worse than underwhelming. This spark has given the Giants fans hope. I've actually started to hear Giants fans now talk about the future like they're excited for it. instead of just we'll see what we do.
I mean, I could agree with that. Like, look, it's seeing this thing go, okay, wow, I see promise there that I haven't seen. I get a good gut feeling that I haven't had in a while. I get that, but the Saints think they can beat them, and the Saints are pretty terrible.
Well, the Saints aren't completely devoid of talent, though. They have a lot of aging players on huge contracts. They just haven't dealt with their cap. You know, they've been pushing it off, and now it's time to pay the piper. You know, but unfortunately they can't, because like we just talked about it yesterday. Like they got to cut all these players next year. But even if they cut them, there's no cap savings. Like, you know, it's like, yeah, you get the contract off the books, but there's no cap savings.
So Hoss, what is the prognosis for NOLA? I mean, like Joe just said, like they can't. We talked yesterday. I know you weren't here, but you know you can't trade anyone at the deadline because the contracts are just stupid. You're stuck with them next year because you can't cut them because, well, once again, the dead cap money is just overwhelmingly stupid. So, and you got to pay Olave pretty soon when his rookie deal's, you know, about done. What do you do? Or is Olave your only thing you can trade and just say, complete rebuild, we're going to suck the next 2 years? I mean, what do you do?
Trading Olave would probably be worse than the Michael Parsons trade, in my opinion, because he's probably like one of our top prospects. Probably one of the only – I know he hasn't really shown a lot, but he's one of our top main guys we got as of right now besides your Alvin Kamara's or anybody like that. But, no, I mean, we're stuck with the people we have. We might as well just take the ball and roll with it because we're in a phase where – I mean, there's different types of – rebuilding modes, you could say, but we're in a phase where not only we 0-5, but compared to the phase they were in 20 years ago. 20 years ago, they got devastated by a hurricane. They had to go play at 3 different locations and have a shitty season and have to fucking move here and there. We're in a phase where they are rebuilding, where they're trying to build people up, but they don't have the audacity or the encouragement to want to fucking step up. Or if they try and they just ain't strong enough. But the strong ones you got now, you might as well keep them. Don't get rid of them, or you really ain't gonna be shit next year.
See, for me, I'm thinking that all those big contracts, even if there's no cap savings, if I can get out from those big contracts, I'm doing it. Like I'm completely getting rid of every big name player that I'm paying over $10 million to. I'm getting rid of them. And I'm starting just so I can start to reset my cap and I can start to actually build a team.
So real quick, next year's Olave's 5th-year option. Okay, so it's the last year of his deal. Now, looking for him for 27 and 2027 as of today. Okay, 35 on the active roster for 2027, but they have 144 million in cap as of today. So for Olave, you're thinking, okay, 26 is the 5th-year option, 15 mil. We can re-sign him long-term and keep him. Now, to Joe's point, for 26, if you cut people post-June 1st, here's who you can cut and have some savings, but there's dead cap. Taysom Hill you can cut. You'll take 7.7 in dead, but you'll free up almost 6. You can cut Kamara, but taking 10 mil in dead, but you free up 8.5. You cut Cam Jordan, 8.5 in dead, but you can save 10. You can cut Eric McCoy, but 7.1 in dead, but you save 10.5. Demario Davis on a void year, 5.6 in dead, 8.6 saved. Chase Young, you're taking 14 million in dead to save 5.8. Carl Granderson, you're taking 10.7 in dead to save 7.3. And here, Cesar Ruiz, you can cut, taking 7.3 in dead and save 6.8. I mean, these are your options. You got a couple guys. If you cut, you save nothing. If you cut Kevin Banks, you actually go in the whole $8 million. You know, so I mean, the problem with these guys is you could do this next year, Joe, but Hoss, I guess the question goes: how much dead cap are you willing to take in Nola next year?
Oh, shit. I don't want to be in def cap, but I mean, you're gonna have to cut. I mean, some of them names. I mean, there's probably maybe 2 or 3 I could probably see. Like, did you bring up Brandon Cooks? I think he only had maybe like a 1 year, 2 year when they signed him back. I mean, they could potentially cut him. Or
Brandon Cooks, you take 3.2 in debt and save 4.7.
If you're looking at people on IR, I mean, which you still got. I mean, maybe I doubt they. I mean, they just signed Will Clapp back, but I wouldn't be surprised if they cut him after they just re-signed him. Maybe like I don't know what Jalen Polk would be if he was cut, or possibly like a Landon Young, or I doubt they're definitely not going to get rid of Foster Moore or even Taysom Hill. But then you still got Jawan Johnson, so you got 3 tight ends right there. You'd have to cut one. Who would you cut out of that 3?
And if you just suck it up for next year, now you're down. Now then 27 though. Look, in 27 they're okay. They got 144 million in cap. Obviously they're gonna have to extend Olave, but now you're stuck with just Taysom Hill, who you really can't do anything with. Kamara at that point becomes cuttable because his dead post June 1st is $5 million, but you saved 3, so that one works. But you're still stuck. You can cut Eric McCoy at that point because your debt is 5.5, but you save 12. You could then cut Chase Young and save 18 and only have 5.6 in dead. So like in 27, like all of a sudden the Saints are going to have money if they, but for this year, next year, yeah, Chase Young, they signed him to a weird contract. It balloons next year. So if they cut Chase Young, that's a massive hit.
Well, they cut him. I mean, Kamara's getting up there. I mean, Kendry Miller's kind of been stepping up at running back. So if he keeps balling out, then I'd just say but unless they work a trade for Kamara, but I don't know if anybody really want to pick Kamara up with him.
And I know why Bear Down Mike brings it up because he might want Bear Down Mike might want to trade for Chase Young. But Mike, let me tell you something about Chase Young's contract. This year's cap number is 6.8, no big deal. 26, that number goes to 20 million. In 27, it goes to 23 million. And then 28 is when he becomes kind of cuttable at 7.7 million. And that's a void year. And 29 is a void year. It's 3 million is the cap number. But his next 2 years, 26 and 27, almost make him untradeable because you have to be willing to take a big cap hit for him next year.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. Like, I know it's probably not going to be popular with Saints fans, but I don't understand why they consider Taysom Hill uncuttable, or like his contract obviously is uncuttable, but like as a player, I mean, he's not doing anything for you, dude. Like you're paying him low starting quarterback money, and he's not a starting quarterback. Like if he was a starting quarterback, he would have been your starting quarterback like after Drew Brees went away, dude. Like you're paying a gadget player $27 million. Like, to me, that's just ridiculous.
And they got him down as a tight end, but I thought there was reports him and Foster reported back to practice unless they re-injured themselves at practice, but I haven't listened to Locked On Saints lately, so I couldn't.
Hill is a fan favorite, though. Like, every team has that guy that no matter.
Yeah, but you don't usually pay that guy a shit ton of money, though.
Yeah.
Well, he does a lot, but he doesn't. He when they paid him that money, though, like Taysom Hill does a lot for them. Just when he steps on the field, he creates even when he doesn't create because you have to account for it. Because every time he comes on, something crazy is going to happen.
But they're 0-5.
Well, I know now, but when he signed this deal, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, he was still the gadget guy. Like he came on the field, shit happened positively for them. Now he's had some injuries. They're 0-5. He's a fan favorite. The fans love. No Saints fan at the time of that contract. It's like, oh my God, it's a bad contract. They loved the contract, But it's like, no, Taysom Hill to Chicago. No, thank you, Mike. No. He's a great gadget player. He's a good. And the fans love him for a lot of various reasons. But I think his situation is a thing where the guy got paid for what he did. not what he's going to do. He's a fan favorite, and now he's had some injury issues on a team that's on the decline.
He can. I just don't see him as a quarterback. I rather see him more as a tight end. But I mean, they have put him in wildcat formations, like on 4th and 1 or whatever, and he just run the ball across the middle or run a sweep and get the first down. Or he's known for kickoff returns, or they've had him at punt return where he's gain yardage or somehow get in the end zone. But I don't want to compare him.
You know what's a good way of describing him? He's what Tim Tebow could have been if Tim Tebow had listened to Belichick and played tight end. Because you can run him as a tight end. He's big enough where he can run routes, catch balls. He can run the ball as a running back. He can throw the ball as a quarterback. He has done that. The guy is literally a Swiss Army knife. When you put him in there, Mike is like, imagine what Ben Johnson could do with him, and he's not wrong. Because a dude, you don't know what's happening. Is he throwing? Is he receiving? Is he blocking? Is he running? The guy is literally the ultimate gadget player, or was the ultimate gadget player. But he's had some injury issues now. He's gotten a little bit older, and his contract makes it hard to move him.
His contract is. Hang on, I was answering that guy's question. He's at $9 million. He's at $9 million right now, or he might be up more.
$9 million's not bad. 20-something that.
Maybe that was last year's salary, but he was making like $27 million.
So
So
his contract. Hold on, pull up his contract right now for you guys. So his cap number this year is 7.2. Oh, wait.
No,
his cap number this year is 14.
He converted nearly $9
Go
million.
ahead, Austin.
But based on his signing bonus, it brought down his 2024 cap from $18 million to $9 million. But it allowed the Saints to be around $12 million under the cap for the upcoming season. But his hit for 2025 is set for $17 million, and the Saints are projected
14.
to be. Oh, now it's 14, but they were projected to be 88.
His 25 cap number, so this year is 14.2. His cap number for 26 right now is 13.3, and 27 is a void year, so no worries there. So really, the question is, you could get Nola to eat contract if you trade for him, right? But how much contract for year 26 could you get them to eat, if any at all? Usually they won't. We see it where teams will eat part of this year's contract, right? We've seen that, like trade deadline. Hey, he's owed $10 million. We'll eat 5 of it. You pay the other 5, and that kind of stuff will happen. But no one's going to say, well, Nola's not going to go, we'll eat part of the 14 mil for this year and the 13 mil for next year. When was the last time you saw someone eat a part of a contract for the following year in a trade? You'll see it for the current year, but usually not the next. So that's what makes him hard. You're paying Taysom Hill 13 mil next year. Now, if you're going to extend him or do something where you can lower that number, like maybe then, hey, we'll extend you a year and give you $2 million the next year, but let's break the 13 and make it 15 mil over the next 2 years, or it's like 7.5 a year. Okay, maybe that's workable, but that's still kind of expensive.
Yeah. This
is what I'm saying, man. Like the Saints had a really good roster for a good while, but it's time to go ahead and tear it down to the studs, get rid of all these overpaid star players that are aging, and start building with young guys again, man. You're going to have to go out and find some talent in the draft. You're going to have to, plug in some cheap free agents for a year or two until you can, build through the draft. And, you're like next year you have $140 million in cap space. That could go a long way. You could go out and get a couple free agents,
27.
man.
27 they do.
27. So, yeah, so 26, my goal would be to get as many of these bad contracts off the books as I can. And we'll trot out a team of scrubs, dude, for 26. I'm not worried about that.
Mike wants Kamara in Chicago, which I don't know if that solves any of the running issues in Chicago. I think that's more of an O-line is really bad on run protection. But for 25, I look at his cap number seems palatable, 10 million. So when you trade for him, you prorate it, you probably owe him 6 or 7. Great. The problem for Kamara is his cap number next year, he's 30 years old already. His cap number next year is 18.5 million. His cap number for 27 is 8.1 million. So Kamara is another guy that you can't trade for.
You might be able to restructure him though. If you make it part of the deal, like we'll trade for him, but it's contingent upon like us working out a restructure with him. Like he's going to take a pay cut, like something like that. Yeah.
Possibly.
I don't know. And I'm not trying to make it sound hopeless for you, Haas. Like I'm not trying to be an asshole. This is my honest opinion. I'm a Raider fan, so I know what rebuilding is supposed to look like. We haven't done it. But my point is like, when you have all these aging vets that you're paying all this money to and they're not winning you games, like you guys are 0-5 at this point, like it's time to say, you know what, like we got to get rid of aging vets, we got to start a team of scrubs for a whole season. And yeah, we're going to suck, but that's going to get us a top 5 draft pick. You're probably looking at a top 5 draft pick this year. 2 top 5 draft picks can really help a franchise along, dude. Like even if you just pick at that spot, but you could also trade that pick if somebody's looking for a quarterback. You can flip that into 2 first rounds or 3 first round draft picks. Like
Cam Jordan, who's 36 years old. Next year's a void year for him. So even if you void him out, you're still taking a cap of $8 million. This might be his last year. Right. So there's
the only thing that's going to be bad is because we've seen it freaking happen. Let's say they do get a top 5 draft pick and they may be able to get 2. You'd say the Saints would need a quarterback. Second thing they would probably need the most, maybe, I don't know. Who do you think they would need second most? A running back or a wide receiver? Or maybe a
running back.
How good's your left tackle?
The whole line is trash. They've drafted linemen for the past 5 years. They ain't get shit.
I wouldn't worry about a quarterback. I would worry about offensive line, maybe get some skill players, maybe get some defensive players like a pass rusher. You know what I mean?
Not necessarily, Joe, because look, they got 144 million in 27. They can buy it down. At that point, they could buy an offensive line with that kind of money.
I feel like their draft room has no experience of what they need to look for because there always has been years like in their years we need to draft we need a quarterback or somebody or even like a linebacker or something more than anybody. They go draft like a fucking punter instead.
Well, that's a GM issue. Like your GM should be aware of your scouting department's limits and their weaknesses.
Gail can't tell the difference between a sneeze and a wet fart. I don't know why she's still she should have just sold it to somebody after her husband died because I feel like she's just there as just a freaking fashion model. Like, oh, I'm wearing fancy gold on game day. I don't know shit about football. And she owns the Pelicans too. So like she needs to sell both teams to somebody who knows what they're doing. But that don't come very often. They don't grow out. People who own football teams who have experience don't grow out the ground like that. You can't just sell that to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but I will say this about the Saints, though. Like, we've talked about Taysom Hill, and in other cities they'd be trying to run them out of town. Not NOLA. Like those guys are loyal. They are very loyal to their guy.
Yeah, and they just signed a lease. They're going to be playing in the Superdome at least 10 more years. They just should never replace it. You can't not replace the Superdome.
The Dome. I went to the Dome 2 years ago. I loved it. It was a great experience at the Dome. I mean, there's no reason to get rid of it. The Dome, it works. It's like, I don't know why they would get rid of it. It works. That place is loud as hell. The fans are great.
Wasn't there something that came out, maybe not this year, but last year, that the stadium needed a bunch of repairs or something like that?
Oh, they already did all that.
It does. I mean, Katrina and everything else. I mean, yeah, it's going to need repairs. Wrigley Field needed repairs. Fenway needed repairs. They can repair that place.
Well, they just did over $55 million worth of renovations when the Super Bowl came to town. And now they're doing more shit because they're hosting the College Football Playoff National Championship again in 2028 or 29. And they tried to get the Super Bowl for 2031, but it failed. So now they're trying to make it this more state of the art than it already is. But you can change the name of it, whatever, but it's unreplaceable. I mean, it's as historic as Lambeau and Soldier Field. It can never be replaced.
I mean, well, the thing too, like, okay, it's a lot easier to spend $200 million in updates and upgrades than $1 billion on a new stadium, or more than $1 billion.
Yeah,
I mean, what's the Bears' new stadium going to cost? I mean, we spent what, 350 million on the land, right? However much the land costs, and then how much is the actual structure going to cost, and then they're building all the other stuff. But I think just the stadium structure itself is going to cost over $1 billion. So I mean, the dome. We went to the dome. First off, the dome was a great experience getting into and out of. Easy in, easy out. They actually do something interesting, which the only NFL franchise I've ever seen do this. When you're going to the game and you bought your tickets through the Saints, they email you the day before the game and say, here is your game day plan. And they give you basically step-by-step instructions, the route you want to take to expediently get to your seats. And then after the game, expediently get out and get back to your vehicle. And my God, it works.
Yeah, and their only parking they have is a big parking garage under the dome, or all these parking garages around Champion Square.
Yeah, we prepaid in the city because I don't live that far. We've been to NOLA enough times. I paid $20 to park at the game. I parked 3 blocks away from the stadium. We walked to the stadium. There's only really one place to enter, and that's the tailgate area. It was fast, and then I just went. Okay, they said, okay, go to gate 6. I went to gate 6. I literally walked in the door, up escalator, up escalator, up escalator. Oh, I'm at my seats. It was that quick. There was no walk around half the stadium to find my section. They directed me exactly. You go into this gate, take this elevator. It's going to take you right. They do a great job.
When I went to SmackDown, Smoothie King Center, when I went to SmackDown, they made me park in the parking garage under the Superdome, and they charged me $40.
Yeah,
just for a WWE show.
And that's still cheaper. You go, dude, I went to 2 years ago now. I went to a Blackhawks game, $50 to park if you're going to park. To park at Wrigley, $50 to park. I don't even want to know what it's costing at Soldier Field, probably at least $50.
Oh, no. The most I've ever paid to park, another wrestling show, when I went to WrestleMania in Dallas, I ended up parking at Globe Life Field, and it was $80 to park over there.
Holy shit.
Yeah, NOLA, my only complaint about NOLA is all the tailgate is in the official tailgating area.
Champion Square.
Which kind of sucked because,
well, they don't really tailgate. I mean, if you want to tailgate, you got to go out of that area. You got to go to where, walk-ons and shit is.
There were some other parking lots in the city where people were tailgating, but I will say this, NOLA does not have the best tailgating setup or experience, but you can still do it and have a lot of fun.
Well, they don't
you really need a tailgate when you've got the French Quarter a couple blocks away.
Yeah, that's the only thing you have close, because in Champion Square they got that whole area where there's a massive stage and they have bands playing every game day morning, and food trucks and beer booths and beer trucks and all that. It's just an open area. It's like an outdoor pavilion where when you're ready to go to the game, you just turn around and there's a long staircase.
Yep, go up the staircase to the dome and go on into the stadium. But getting into the stadium is super easy because you know why? You've already scanned your ticket. You scan your ticket to get into the square, and at that point, you're already considered.
You just open the door. Just open the door.
Yeah, so that's a good stadium. Look, at the Saints do have some things going for them. Their roster right now, their contract is not one of them. So, going to be interesting to see what they do, what the trade deadline brings, and what games this weekend bring. And we do have some good games this weekend. I know we only got about 20 minutes left. Of course, the Packers will tie again this week. They're going to tie against the bye because
the Bears are going to lose against the bye.
Probably. We're due one of those. We got the Vikings at the Browns in London. That's going to be a good game for those who want to get up at 8:30 in the morning Central.
I'll be up.
That should be an interesting game defensively, at least. Is Van Ginkel still out for the Queens? I think so.
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't heard anything about him coming back.
You know what sucks? If you were on the Vikings and you had a concussion after week 3, you couldn't fly for week 4 or 5. That was automatically 2 games you're out.
Yep.
The only other good game I see is Tampa Bay and Seattle.
Broncos-Eagles will be interesting.
Eagles will probably win. They're going to probably make sure the Eagles win at home. I want to see if Miami goes back-to-back, beating Carolina.
Yeah,
I love
Carolina.
Them little Seattle Kraken-looking uniforms they had Monday night. I love those. They need to
What
make
about
those,
what about Raiders-Colts, though?
Oh, Colts will
That
bounce
could-
back. Sorry, Joseph. Colts will bounce back.
And Max Crosby we trust, though.
I don't
We're
know.
gonna have to see how Geno plays, man. If Geno throws another 3 picks,
But I might have here's my potential upset alert. I think the Jets might upset the Cowboys. So Justin Fields is back and he played pretty good against Miami. I think they're gonna shake noise at MetLife.
Yeah, but for them, is Quentin Williams out still?
I don't.
If Q is out, that defense is in trouble. Here's an interesting game: 2 1-3 teams. The Texans at the Ravens.
Oh, Lamar's
Yeah, I
out.
think
Lamar's out. So
even with him being out, I think the Ravens still find a way to be able to right the ship a bit. Because if they lose this one, you want to talk about some major uproar they're going to get from their fan base.
They could have a fire sale if they lose another game or two in the next 2 weeks.
Fuck, I forgot who's starting quarterback for them. I forgot who it was.
I can't remember who their backup is right now. Bucks at Seahawks. Now here's an interesting thing though. Like 2 years ago, you'd be like, "Oh, Seahawks are at home." Then you give that to the Seahawks, but the Seahawks are better on the road than they are at home over the last 2 years. They're great on the road. If this game was in Tampa, I think it'd be you might go, "Oh, the Seahawks," but with the game being in Seattle and the Bucks, after last week, I think the Bucks win this game, but it'll be a good game.
It's gonna be a tight game. I mean, whoever gets the ball last, I feel like will win one of them type of games.
And look, we have to mention the Lions fans or Brian and some of the other guys will be mad. How big of a shellacking are the Lions going to give the Bengals this week?
Lions by 50 fucking billion.
Now, what I want to know, instead of who's going to win, because everybody assumes the Lions are going to win, at least anybody with a rationally functioning brain, is Browning going to be able to make it back into the locker room without help? That offensive line is so bad, they've killed one quarterback so far. Let's see if they can mark up a second one.
hey, if you got $10 extra that you're not worried about losing, or even 25, you might want to go drop it on the Bengals, because if the Bengals happen to pull that one off, you're gonna get rich, dude.
Well, the $10 bet you could.
Hold on. Let's bring some of the MMA maniacs into this here. Do not bet on the underdog that Joe says to bet on. They've been wrong each and every time.
No, but look at Joe's not wrong though. If you just got $10 you could care less about, throw it on the Bengals and you expect to lose it, but on the off chance they pull off a miracle, I mean, that $10 is going to turn to what?
Yeah,
Is
and to be fair,
where is it? Is it in Detroit or is it in Cincinnati?
Cincy.
Oh, shit.
and to be fair, Ken, you're leaving out some much needed context. I didn't say that I thought that the underdog was going to win.
Right.
I said if you drop $25 that you don't care about losing on this particular bet, it's such a long shot that if it hits, you could make thousands of dollars.
I mean, the line is 10 for the
Yeah,
Lions.
they're giving them 10.5. They're giving them 10.5.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
And they got the money line minus 600. I mean, I don't know about that on fucking.
But no, that's one of those bets. Like you assume you're going to lose it, right? Because you won't bet on that game anyways, because it's right. You wouldn't bet on that game. It's a dud game, even if you win. If you bet the line. So you're not going to win much. So you just throw $25 on the massive underdog, and if it's a massive upset, you're rich. If not, it was $25 you didn't care about.
The only one I'll take Kansas City on the points. They're giving KC -3 on the road. The one I won't take, I don't think LA -2.5 over Washington. Jaden's back. I don't think LA covers.
Scary Terry's not back though. That's not good for them.
That's the only thing.
The Bills are
and don't forget
8.5
the
on the
Chargers are going to
Patriots.
be coming with vengeance after losing to the Giants.
Yeah, so I mean Jaden's back, so I mean he's gonna find some targets. That's not Scary Terry, but
I mean, look at the Bills are 8.5 favorites, 8.5 point favorites on the Patriots. That's another one. You got $10 you don't care about, put it on the Pats.
and Buffalo's wearing those frozen uniform, whatever they call it, the Blizzard uniforms or whatever, that all white out with the silver logo.
And the line on Candace helmet getting any bigger, put $5 on that.
See, as much as Ken talks about it, that's a helmet he wants to add to his collection.
Dude, it wouldn't fit it wouldn't fit in any of these cases.
I was going to say,
Well, at least
it's going to take up the whole room.
At least when he retires, he'll still have all his brain cells.
There you go.
Well,
That's the major part of it. He's not going to end up like Tua.
He's not gonna be the next Rob Gronkowski. He's gonna
So we had
numbers.
Dr. Gay on here. She's a CTE specialist down here. She worked for the Atlanta Falcons for a while. She's on here in the Pensacola area. We had her on about a year ago. She was saying that extra helmet doesn't really do anything. It's more of like it won't protect from CTE or concussion like some people are claiming it will. But I don't know. Like his is so big, he's got to have like 50 layers of bubble wrap in there.
Well, you saw, I know the Vikings have them. They got this new model helmet where it looks like they have a cap on and they don't.
Right.
That looks weird as shit too. I don't know what brand made that.
I only have one Justin Fields and it's a mini. I want it for $6. In fact, I would
price possession alone, broski.
And look at that mini actually with all the extras because it came with the visors worth more than what I paid for the helmet. Put it that way. The mini visors are $15. I paid $6. I won it for $6, so I'm okay with that. Yeah, no helmet's going to save you from concussion. I just think, look, if Jordan Love ever says I couldn't find Dobbs in the field, then he needs to go directly to the eye doctor. Because that is just redonkulous.
Well, if Big Cap helmet don't stop a concussion protocol, they're going to turn into South Park and start Sarcastaball.
We're already halfway there.
Yeah.
Well, it's good. I don't know what game. I'm obviously going to watch the Bills game.
Either that or it'll be the NFFL, the National Flag Football League.
I could see the Jags beating the Chiefs. I mean, look at the Jags are the underdog. I could see the Jags winning at home. I mean, they're boom or bust. It's kind of hard with them, but I don't have a lot of faith in the KC either, though, to be honest with you.
Shout out and we lost.
We lost Joe. He'll be back.
Well, shout out.
He wandered too far.
Shout out to Travis Etienne. He donated $998,000 to the National Suicide Hotline Foundation.
We did have a Joe for a minute.
Yeah.
You walked too far. He walked past the fence. Nice belts. I have one.
Now he's back.
Which ones you have? I got my LSU belt and I got the IC title. He must be a John Cena fan. He must be a John Cena fan. He said real life. And football thugonomics.
Yeah, he's got to be a Cena fan.
Well, we can't see him, so
my God.
Well,
hey, his time is now.
Hey, that's going to be a dark. You thought Hulk Hogan passing away was a dark day. When Cena's last match and it's over, there's going to be so many grown men crying because Cena's run is over.
Speaking of Hulk Hogan, this happened this morning. in Florida, they took like a running path in the Tampa area and dedicated to Hulk Hogan. They put workout equipment all along the path. I forgot the name of it. They're calling it the Hulk Hogan something or another, but it's they dedicated that to him today. Yeah, this has been dedication week in Florida because Florida also dedicated a stretch of highway to Charlie Kirk this week. They just did the Hulk Hogan thing. I think Joe's getting a dedication for being a Packer or for being a Raiders fan, still living in California. I mean, we're dedicating stuff for everyone this week.
I wonder how much money Real American is making after he died, because I've been seeing Real American commercials constantly on TV.
Yeah, they didn't call it the Hulkamania path, but yeah, they dedicated that out this morning.
Well, they
And
need
by
to
the way,
bring
the
some
Cubbies
of
flying the W.
They need to bring some of the Real American beer here to this area. Because let me tell you, I've been looking for it almost every time I go to the store. Because believe me, the second I see that sumbitch, I'm buying a couple cases. One to try and one that's just not going to get touched.
So look at
What they need to do for that running path is they need to install like little mini speakers all along the path and just blast Real American the whole time while you're running. Let me tell you something, brother.
The Bears and the Packers don't play this week. However, there is Illinois-Wisconsin stripe this week because the Cubbies flew the W last night. The Cubbies and the Brew Crew start the NLDS this week. So the I-94 series, or I-90, depending which one you want to take, commences this week. So there is Chicago-Wisconsin strife this week. Oh, there you go.
Hey, there you go.
This one, hands down the best one. IPA is fucking dog shit. I'm sorry. I'm not an IPA guy, but the freaking American lager might be the best one. And I have hunted the shit out of these. I even went across Texas to find this, and luckily an HEB store right on the border, I found one and found them over there. And
they knew you were coming.
I think they come in 4-packs. I hadn't drank this shit in like 3 years, but I think it comes in 4-packs.
Well, it's kind of hard for me to go to baseball games living in Pensacola, Florida, but I basically grew up going to Wrigley Field because I grew up in the burbs of Chicago. So I was going to Wrigley before it had lights and after it had lights. And I was at the last Cubs game I went to was 2 years ago, opening weekend against the Dodgers, or as my sister would say, the Doyers. But yeah, I go to Cubs games when I get the opportunity. I do have a minor league team here. I went to one of their games this year.
The only Chicago baseball team I've ever seen play the Astros was the White Sox, and Astros beat them like 16-3. They had like 4 home runs in the 6th inning, and two of them were grand slams.
Yeah, Steve, I don't like winter anymore. or more to the point, I don't like shoveling snow out of the driveway anymore. So yeah, I'm in Florida, happily retired, where my money goes further and the sunshine is never ending. I guess that's a way of putting it.
Well, I think you got to worry about winter for quite a while. Y'all barely get it.
Yeah, well, then last year we got 10 inches, right, which set a new 130-year-old record, which was funny because you had palm trees with snow, and I was like, let's go play in the snow. I'm like, no, I grew up in that. I'm good. I'm good, man.
I went played in it.
It's the hurricanes you got to worry about.
Well, yeah. Hey, we've been doing good. So we've been doing good so far. And when Halloween hits, it's like, okay, we damn near across the finish line. If we can go at least 3 weeks in November without no hazard alerts, then we survived hurricane season before November 30th.
I'm actually near Pensacola, so I'm in the Panhandle there, brother. I'm in the Panhandle there. So basically, I'm as far west in Florida as you can almost get in the Panhandle. And yeah, the Army actually moved me here. That's why I retired here. I was going to retire in Orlando, but with 23 months left, they said, hey, we're going to move you. And I said, well, keep me in Florida, because I didn't want to go to OCAR or USARC. And so they ended up moving me here to a slot here in Pensacola, and this is where I retired. And we were here, and we're like, okay, well, we got 23 months, and I retire. We'll give this place 6 months, and if we don't like it, we'll go back to Orlando. Within 30 days, it wasn't even 30 days, we're like, yeah, we're never going back to the Central Corridor. We're staying up here in the Panhandle. The weather's better. I'm near a lot. I got the most active duty installations in America are in my congressional district. I got 7 of them or 8 of them. I got Air Force, Navy all over the place. But yeah, I live at the home of the Blue Angels, so I'll be in my swimming pool, just floating around, having a nice day. And there go the Blue Angels.
I've seen the main. I've been to the Navy base in Pensacola. I've seen the main entrance. I've been to Emmett Smith Field or Escambia High School. I've seen their.
My son played on that field. Yeah, he played a game there. Yeah,
that's where the Usos went to high school, and Trent Richardson went to Escambia.
Yep. Yeah, it's a good place to live down here. We get a lot of Army retired, actually, even though it's an Air Force, Navy town. You'd be surprised how much Army's down here. But yeah, we're home with the Blue Angels. We're home with Air Force Special Operations Command. We get a lot of Army because Fort Rutgers, U.S. Army rotor, right? That's where all the rotor schools are. And a lot of those guys retire out of there and make their way down here. So we get a lot of Army. Put it this way, this is one of those areas where you drive around and about every other plate or every third plate you see in a car is a disabled veterans plate. You go to other places in the state, we're rare. You go to other states, seeing a DV plate's kind of rare. But here they're everywhere. My neighborhood, in my HOA, I would say 90% of the people in my neighborhood are prior service or military retiree.
Yeah, I used to be the home of a former minor league hockey team of the ECHL, the Pensacola Ice Pilots. Ice Gears used to play them all the time, but now they got the Flyers instead.
Yeah, we got the Flyers. I got tickets this year to the Flyers because they do developmental hockey is great. They do $5 hockey nights, so we're going to a bunch of those. Steve, your question. I don't play console games like Halo. I created this on Grok, actually. So it just kind of like, I don't know, it fit me. Yeah, it's got some of the military tide, the American flag. I like the way it generated my name on it. It's just one of the better images I generated on Grok.
What NHL team is affiliate with the Flyers?
None.
Oh,
they're a purely developmental team. They have no affiliation. They used to be the Winnipeg Jets back in the day, but not when they were the Pensacola Jets. But as the Ice Flyers, they have no affiliation right now that I'm aware of, unless that's changed over the last year. I know the owner. I could call and ask him, actually. The owner was my attorney.
The Ice Skaters used to be owned by the Red Wings.
No, I don't, Steve. I'm not a big video game guy. I play one video game, Star Trek Fleet Command, which Butters and I both play on our phones. That's about it. Because Cam Butters, you see, comment. He plays it.
Steve, since you're asking, do you play Helldivers too?
So it's fun it's interesting living here. There's a lot of Bears fans here. There's a Bears bar. A lot of Packer fans here. We have a Packers bar. There's a Lions bar here. This is a
Cowboys bar?
Well, what now?
Cowboys bar?
No Cowboys bars. This is Saints territory. So it's Saints, Bears, and Lions and Packers are the big four here.
Now, what about college-wise? They got more Florida State fans right there, or is it Gators or Miami Hurricanes?
It's FSU, Bama, and Auburn. Those are the big three.
Okay.
And LSU. LSU does well here too. We'll go with the big four. LSU does, well here too.
And I didn't realize it was coming so soon. I thought it'd be at the end of the month. NHL returns on October 7th.
Yeah. Yeah, Fred, there may be, but you'd have to ask Packer fans where those are at.
I wouldn't say that with who you got at quarterback.
But yeah, so hey guys, a lot of great games this weekend. Hoss, thank you for joining us, man. You're welcome anytime. We always have fun on the morning show. Guys, enjoy your games this weekend. Have a great weekend. Don't forget, we got the Backer boys on their bye-week show tonight. We got Red Zone Rant this weekend. House Raw report for pregame on Sunday. Just a bunch of stuff going on. Hoss, where can guys find you this weekend?
Well, I'm going to be in my house all weekend or on the football field Friday because we have our homecoming game tonight. No, but I'm on X at Big Hoss 337. My show on the go on undergo_TXLA. I just did 2 shows again this week. That's probably what I'm going to be doing for quite a while. I think the whole month of October, I'm probably doing 2 shows a week because I just did a preview for the Ravens. I'm doing a preview for the Patriots next week. And then you're doing a preview with me for the Bears.
Yep.
All that stuff.
So we got about 10 seconds left. JB's on next. Hoss, thank you for being here. Ken, everyone else, thanks for the comments. We'll see you all on Monday. Have a great weekend, everyone.